I'm gonna start with a little sound clip for the startup. Alright, so this is our 2013 GMC Sierra that we're looking at today. It's a pretty low, like, workman truck with basic essentials. So it's not power. I mean, it does have power windows and locks and stuff. It's not all manual, so not bad. It's in like a nice dark kind of gray. Sometimes they call it like a pewter sandstone. Weird names for these trucks. It does have a nice brush guard on it. It's got some really nice tires. They're dated 2020, but they look like they're wearing really good. Overall, the exterior is not terrible. It does have quite a few blemishes that I'm going to point out. I'm just going to start here. The camera might not capture it, but you got like a haze. It's not really like a good shine, not like a mirror finish, more like almost satin on this door. And then they kind of blended it. And you can kind of see where there used to be like the plastics here. And like they've had some body work done here. You can see like the edges and stuff, the lines of the comb. So the paint's not perfect. From 10 feet she looks, you know, relatively fine, but once you walk up to it, certain angles and stuff, the reflection's not that great. Does have some dings, dents. Bedside here has some pretty good dings that kind of run into the tailgate when you lower that down. Some more dings here on the bedside. It does have a dent up on the top here. And then right here you got like this little crease going on, and a little bit of like a brushed, like something rubbed it. So, but main thing here, this light has a bunch of drill holes in the bottom. You can see it was full of water at one point. Has aftermarket fog lights. I can't figure out how to get those to work. Bowl guard's nice. It is mounted to the frame there, so where the tow hooks normally go, it's got like a bracket in the middle of that. It does rub at full lock. You can kind of see here it's a little bit chewed. And then on this door, I'm trying to capture the lack of the gloss. You can see on the edge here, rough edge, tape lines and stuff. Gaps are still really good. I believe it was just shot on the door, because they didn't go over this, so they just shot it. Not the right way to do it. It might collect moisture over time is my worry. Possibly this too, something to keep an eye on. Glass is all really good shape. Truck sounds pretty good. It does have a little bit of a drone in highway, or not highway, in town. Highway it kind of drowns out, like it gets a lot softer. Seems a lot more tame. All glass is pretty good. Lights and everything are doing what they're supposed to. The license plate light on the rear kind of broke out, but easy enough fix. Mirrors are good. And doors and everything open really easily. No weird sounds or hinge binds or anything like that. And wheels are in great shape. It almost makes me think the wheels came off of a different truck. But yeah, a little bend to the bumper. A little bend to the bumper there, but not too bad. So we'll stop here. Alright, so this is going to be our engine bay. A couple things to go through. I took a picture, but I'm just going to show you. So this harness was just kind of down over here, laying in the engine bay. The end of the mass airflow is just broken off. And that's what I don't want to happen. I don't want that to lay in there. It just broke off. So I don't know how this truck is even letting me drive it around, but it starts every time. It's going to be a majority of your issues. The wiring mess here, they have an air horn over there. I don't know how to use it. I'm not going to try. But beyond that, belts, hoses, everything look really good. We don't open the airbox because it's bolted. We don't disassemble. Power steering looks pretty good. Oil's a little dark, but you know, short oil change. Anytime I buy a new vehicle, I only do 1,000 miles and then I do an oil change. Do a 3,000 mile and then do an oil change and just see where you're at after that. Brake fluid, we are just down a little bit, and it's pretty dark. Pretty common on Chevys for that over time, to get a lot of moisture in there. I usually say every 3 years you should be doing some kind of flush to the system to make sure you're cleaning that fluid, get moisture out of it. This is drums in the rear, so it's hard to tell. Stop's fine, but it does have a bit of pulsation, so something to keep an eye on. A little bit of grooves in the front rotors. Frame and everything up here is nice and straight, no ripples, doesn't look like anything's been taken off. Here's that horn. See the butt wires, they're just taped together and stuff. Goofy thing people do. Pretty much stock up here though. Overall, not too bad. Transmission fluid looks good. A little over full, but hey, that dent probably isn't helping that level. I'm gonna pause here and we're gonna do a quick startup. Just bear with the camera for a moment. It fires right up. It's pretty smooth. Holding my hand here, pretty smooth. I don't feel any vibrations or anything weird. It does have electric fans. I have the AC on. You can see that all kicking on. The compressor over there kicking on. No whining, nothing weird. It runs pretty good. With a broken mass airflow, that's amazing to me. I've seen cars that you can't even start, so this is just an anomaly in itself. Good old GM products. We're gonna stop here. We're gonna keep going. All right, so we're gonna do our quick undercarriage. I use this mirror to just help me get good angles. This, I start from the front to back. This helps me get a really good eye on what's going on with the vehicle. Helps me see if anything's been hanging down, sagging, dragging, or getting scraped. Now it's hard to see kind of from this angle, but that front skid plate is a little caved in. They are plastic and they kind of just get stuck if they crease in there. It doesn't take much. A good sized tumbleweed can do that. So these are just kind of a splash guard in my sense. Honestly, they're a little stout, but they're not great. The surface rust that you see on the chassis, these are wax dip frames. It's really super common on these. I have a 2015 that looks pretty much the same exact way. I need to do an undercoat. This truck, I would recommend an undercoat. I usually say stay away from rubberized. Try to do like an oil base, something that's real good, and get treated the rust before it's undercoated. Okay. Now let's go to the side here. Get a better image of that skid plate. See how it's kind of dented in there a bit. So yeah. And then we're gonna go front corner. So front corner here is your frame, body mount and everything. A little bit of surface rust on the rocker here. Nothing soft or flaking just yet. Let's see if I can see. Really solid. So definitely just needs a good treatment under here. I did note here you see some dents in the pan and the pipes there. It is a bit wet on the transmission, so that's no bueno. Definitely something to be aware of, something to be of concern. And then we're gonna go to the back here. So this is gonna be the rear portion of the frame, your leaf spring perch, rear body mount and everything. I always look at the rocker here, see if that's all chewed up and rusted out. Looks good. Fuel tank, skid plate looks really good. And leaf springs look decent. Again, just more of that surface rust. We're gonna go straight from the back. All right, so we are looking from the back now. The spare, I'm gonna be honest, tire and wheel, I don't know how roadworthy that would be. That wheel's pretty rusted out. If this cable's not seized, I don't know if I would use it. Frame and everything looks pretty good. Frame mounted hitch. Shocks are pretty rusted. A bit of residue on these rear ones. You see the wetness on the lower portion. Does have the factory piping, but they just cut the factory muffler and added an aftermarket one. All right, this passenger leaf spring side, better eye on the aftermarket muffler. It is pretty close, but it doesn't touch. Did look at that pretty well. And then drive line and everything looks pretty good too. And then we got driver or passenger side here, so body mount, more of that flaking there. And then you can see both cats. Oil pan has a little bit of darkness, like a little bit of residue, but it's not really wet. Keep an eye on it. It's usually like the oil filter area where the block off plate is, or the high pressure oil cooler system is. Everything else looks pretty good. I'm gonna do the interior real fast. So AC does work real good. Have that cranked. So start at the wheel always. They're real busy these days. So cruise control settings all work as intended, and then all these controls work except for the voice command controls, so the call stuff. I didn't pair my phone, so I don't know if that's why it didn't work, but upon hitting this, literally nothing happens. Volume controls, all that kind of stuff works.
Hey Tom, gonna miss the...
So looks good there. And then we do have these active lights. Check engine light, we have the traction and StabiliTrak. Beyond that, the oil pressure at idle, once it was hot, I've been sitting here for a little bit with it off, but it gets down to as low as 15. That was a concern for me. Current mileage 122,725 at the end of the drive here. It does have a heads up unit that's been updated, has Bluetooth and stuff. It doesn't have a backup camera, and then just basic settings for AC. I kind of prefer it like this. And then traction control. You do have the 4-wheel drive with auto setting and 4 low. Those work as well. Over here is going to be your controls for the information in this screen. And then your light controls. I don't know what this switch does. I flicked it a few times thinking maybe it was for the fog lights, but nothing happened. And then you do have trailer brakes built into this truck. On this one, it doesn't have tow mirrors, but you do have power mirrors. And then all 4 windows roll down. They're not tilt windows in the back. And then center console, no store. It's got storage, but like no open close storage. Some burns here, but the seat is in pretty good shape. A little burn here. Has the vinyl floors or rubberized floor. Door cards are in pretty good shape. Both sides. This one has a switch that they tried to glue down. It's no longer glued down, and it only goes down but not up. Master switch will control all windows without issue. Does have a sub in here. I didn't really turn the music up too loud to get that thing going. I try not to like blow up speakers or anything like that. And then you gotta pull down on this bad boy and lift at the same time to get it up. 1 second. Okay, so when you lift this, it kind of goes halfway and stops. It's probably from the stereo stuff. It's tucked up in here. You can see the cord. I don't know if they're keeping it. He said he was going to ask if that's staying with the truck or not, so I don't know that information just yet. Sorry, folks. From here, I'm going to pause and just move to the other side. So I really like when the doors are open like this. It makes it really easy to just kind of look at everything. Door cards are in great shape. Seats are pretty good. Looks like there was probably like a carrier or something in this one for a while. Manual seat on both sides. It's in really good shape over here. That one did have like a little repair I saw. And then glove box, top and bottom work as intended. So interior's not bad. It's really not bad. There's just a little bit of burns in that middle. Honestly, that was all I found. The headliner, probably one of the better headliners I've seen in a long time. There is like a little bit of a stain here. I don't know if it was a window left down or seal or something, but that's usually from signs of like water right there. That's about that. We'll stop here. Call this the trunk, rear hatch, truck bed, lift gate, however you like to call it. So trunk open, or tailgate opens really well. You can see here, these lower points run into each other. Okay. And then especially on this side where it's dented, you see it run into each other. So that's not fun. Has the plastic liner in it. It's not terribly chewed up. It's got some nicks in it and stuff. Underneath has a lot of debris and stuff, so definitely might want to get that cleaned out. Overall, I mean, truck bed. Nothing special about this one. No weird hookups or no backup camera. No weird trailer lights or interior lights in the bed. Nothing crazy, just a truck bed. So we'll stop there. Okay, we're gonna go through our code scan here. So we did have some codes pop up. We had an active check engine light, traction control light, stability control from the time I started the vehicle. Now, after going through immediately on the engine control module, I had a mass airflow code and an error inlet temp sensor. I pop the hood, walk over to the mass airflow box, well, air box. It has the mass airflow clip to it, and that is broken off. So that is immediately going to be 90% of the issue as far as my drivability on this. Had I popped the hood and kind of checked on that beforehand, he told me that it was kind of running a little rough when they first started it, but it started right up for me, seemed to do okay, so I didn't pop the hood. If I would have looked at that immediately, would have told them then. I'm just glad it didn't die on me or anything while I was driving it. It kind of cuts, but it doesn't, and it kind of like bogs down, but it doesn't actually shut off. Seems to be doing okay if you just kind of cruise along. Now, a lot of these other ones are going to be active codes for like lost communication, low voltage codes. We do have some airbag codes for the passenger side, and then there are some codes for there's like the keys. We only have keys, there's no transponder, so there's codes for that, codes for an aftermarket head unit. I listed everything out in the text version of this, so you'll have all of the codes, history, and current, all of that kind of stuff. From here, I'm going to go to your monitors. Alright, so going through here, the X's kind of make sense, right? So your mass airflow is measuring your air to fuel ratio, and that's your input, and then your O2 sensors are measuring your output. Now you're getting output but no input, so all these are going to be freaking out, hence the drivability and everything. This kind of makes sense. The thing is if we could just swap that mass airflow and redo this entire thing, I feel like it would be a night and day experience with the vehicle. Literally, unless your car is on a tune that's preset data, that is how they get the information for drivability and throttle and you know, the timing stuff, like the variable valves and all that kind of crap on newer cars. It all depends on that initial signal coming through, so that it can know what's going on to the air and fuel as it goes through the engine and back out through the exhaust. It's your handshake before the goodbye of the exhaust, right? So that is not happening, and it's going to cause a lot of weird issues with the truck. I am startled that it started and let me drive it around like this. All right, well, this is going to be our conclusion on this 2013 Sierra. So, a few things. The truck had a bit of a cut while I was driving it. We come find out the mass airflow is broken. That could change the entire driving dynamic of this truck. A little bit of rub in the front when you have full lock. Some paint work that's been done, not great on this side. Some pretty good undersurface rust. The wax frames are notorious for it. Definitely needs a good undercoat. Brakes have a bit of a pulse into them. They are drums in the rear, so without taking the wheel off, it's hard to inspect those. Fronts have some grooving, but beyond that, not too bad. Interior is in really, really good shape. It's pretty plain Jane, you know, power doors and locks, but it's got the vinyl floor, fabric seats, not a whole lot of amenities, but enough, you know what I mean? Like, it's got just the right amount for a work truck. AC and everything works really good on this truck. Drives decent for not having a mass airflow, except for the cuts. Those are usually coming by like rapid throttle changes or letting off or decel, which is understandable. We do have some dings and dents around the truck. As a work truck, it's kind of inspected, but not too bad. Aftermarket exhaust isn't too bad. A little bit droney in town, and wheels and tires are great. Overall, my concerns with this would be the transmission pan has a dent in it. You can see it on the exhaust as well. That needs to be taken care of. You can see a little bit of a leak there. Need to put a mass airflow in this, and I bet you it drives night and day different. Change that fluid, change the oil, change the brake fluid, and this could be a good little truck. The hard thing is for me, I can't say right now that the mass airflow is the only reason that bucking and everything happens, right? Like, I would need to replace that because it's an obvious broken part before I could give you like an accurate assessment if that's the sole cause, right? Does have some messy wiring for like an aftermarket air horn, but beyond that, the engine bay is pretty much bone stock. We'll stop here. Overall, the inspection's not bad. It just has some things that need to be touched up. I will be talking to them when I get back to the shop, and if I know them, they most likely will take care of the easy one, at least that mass airflow. We'll stop here.